Namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today in the Zodiac Weather. My name is Christopher Witecki. I am the sensei to Sirius Joy, here to stand in my heart and walk in the light. I am so grateful to walk by your side today. I am love casting live in 5 dimensions in the beautiful Temple of Gaia on Monday, December 8th, 2014. It's been an intense weekend, and today, my friends, step 16 rules the day. Today will probably feel like your classic Sunday, actually. Today is almost like a Sunday vibration. It's because we're connecting to our spirit. I'm going to describe in the Sensei Sunrise how to connect and what you might want to ask. But it's important to know that today is not a day of necessarily achieving material world accomplishment. Today is a day of achieving inner world accomplishment. And today it's super important that we find spiritual clarity. We're actually in Chapter 2 of Sun in Sagittarius, and the human collective consciousness is reconsidering collective consciousness. The last time we reconsidered collective consciousness was 1985 by Saturn moving into Sagittarius. But we also worked really hard on collective consciousness from 1995 to 2009 and a half when Pluto was in Sagittarius. So in essence, we're about to stand in a third go-around at this if you're at least 30 years of age. And so as we step out into a new belief is what we're working on, we want to make sure that we have Creator behind us. But before we talk about lining up our spirituality, let's first tame our brain today and prepare with the phrase of the day. I love and trust my inner peace. Today, I'm ready to listen. I love and trust my inner peace, and today I am ready to listen. That's really what step 7 is. That's our quantum intention. I'll talk about that. But our inner peace is our spirit, our spirituality. Everyone has an inner peace inside of them. You can go to it right now if you choose to. And I will say that we must trust this place because it is from this peace that we actually have our psychic messages, our spiritual warnings, and even dead relatives that come in. So we have to love and trust that peace. We have to know that peace. We have to go to that peace. And today you want to love and trust your inner peace and be ready to listen. Now today the serious step of the day is step 16. And that means the joyful prep is step 7. So when you take your love, step 1, and you open up to giving and receiving, 6, you end up connecting to step 7, or the spiritual sense. And this is really the part of us that listens, really. I've even realized that I think that when we are on the earth and we hear music, I think we are exercising step 7. I think we listen and we are willing to take in on all frequencies. We're in step 7. So today's a cloudy day. Today is a spiritual day. Today's a foggy day in many ways. Now looking at the ruling chakras, we are working on the Sun in Sagittarius, which means that we are improving our vision or our vision for our lives. And with the quantum attention at step 7, we're going to chime into Creator today, or we're going to chime into Source to kind of figure out if we're on the right path or be honest with ourselves about certain things. So it's really a crown chakra and a third eye. But remember, we are continually manifesting now after step 10, so it's very important to be careful what you put your heart behind, because we are all fertile from this point to the end of the transit. Now let's look at planet soup. What does God have cooking up there in the stars for us today? Well, the Sun is at 16 degrees Sagittarius. That's over the hump, so to speak. 15 degrees would be halfway, right? And so we are now on our way to creating and exploring what our actual acting beliefs are. Over the weekend, we had a full moon in Gemini, and that actually started Friday night. Technically, the full moon was early Saturday morning, but most of my clients that I read Friday and Saturday were saying the breakdown was on Friday. And I have to say, too, that is also the case. I was having breakdown with Skype and connecting to people. It was just a funky day. And it really was the separation of our mind from our beliefs. Now we have a grand trine in fire, which is accelerating our growth, and I'm going to explain here in just a minute that the grand trine is going to cool off here in the next 3 days. But before it does, today and tomorrow, you're kind of assessing where you want to commit to a certain philosophy. But tied into this philosophy with the Grand Trine is the expansion of our hearts and dreams represented by Jupiter now, and the redefinition of our male side, the part of us that takes action or doesn't, or you could say our ego. So as we change our philosophy, our heart and our ego stand by ready to contribute or hold back, and that means that we are growing faster on the inside than we may be seeing on the outside. Now the moon today is in Cancer, crabby Cancer, so we are feeling everything. Everything is multiplied, and that's really a good thing as long as you get that moment to have peace, because it's through our feelings that I find that most of the psychic information comes. So if you can ground and listen to your feelings today, there is definitely a chance of irritability, though, if you don't manage your own emotions. Now in that soul pyramid in fire, Uranus is 1/3. It's at step 12 right now, and it will move to step, it stays step 12 for a while. I just did the taping the megascope, so I remember. But the point is that at this stage, be advised that it is time to take up to Uranus, to innovate is the word I'm looking for, what action can be. You want to get more for less when it comes to ego. You want to get more for less when it comes to whenever you step up right now. And that's what innovating our ego really is. Now, today is the last day. Jupiter will be direct at 22 degrees Leo. Tomorrow, Jupiter goes retrograde and will remain retrograde for 6 months. This, to me, is the point of the day. It's actually not the Sun in Sagittarius. It's more about Jupiter in Leo, and I'll talk more about that in the Sensei Sunrise. But after today, tomorrow, Jupiter retrogrades, and that means that the Jupiter in Leo issue, or our expanding hearts, takes a 6-month break. Now, it's my experience that a lot of things happen. Basically, the consequences of everything that you have acted on or not acted on, or let's say the effect of all the causes you created since August when Jupiter entered into Leo until now, will kind of come in like the tide after the new year. But in this last 24-hour period, as we are setting the 22 degree, the quantum 22 degree of Jupiter Leo, it is time in the next 36 hours to be clear on where you feel your heart belongs. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. Then lastly, we have wet cement Saturn at step 28 Scorpio, means that the emotional boundaries that we are holding right now will solidify into cement. In other words, these will be trends that we stay to unless we work really hard to reverse for 30 years. This is a big deal. So be very clear and do not waver on personal emotional boundary at this time. If you want to go crazy and shake it up, wait till New Year's, says the astrology. Now's not the time. Otherwise, you're going to have all those weird things in your cement. And that brings us to today's Sensei Sunrise. Look at this reindeer. What do you think he's thinking? Funny guy. All right, so today the Sensei Sunrise is at step 16 Sagittarius. And in the scale of consciousness, we work through our religion. We're now in our acting belief. So step 16 is just halfway through the consciousness of our belief structure. And where we are today is asking ourselves precisely what it is we believe in, because in tomorrow we will be committing. Saturn will rule the day. It'll be a step 17 day. And so something in our life will ask us to commit. We will manifest a junction or a crossroads. We'll manifest a contract. We'll manifest a FedEx delivery. Something tomorrow will ask you to commit to your philosophy. And even though it may not be something extremely obvious in your face, you know when you're making that signature by saying yes or no that you are saying yes or no to a new way of believing. All right. So today is really about listening to our higher self and determining if we're on the right path. Now, the way the metaphysics works, or the architecture of incarnation, is everything after 10 we start manifesting, so we have to love and trust our lives. So today you're not going to get a good signal unless you love and trust your life, unless you ground yourself and be there for yourself. Then once you're grounded, you open up to giving and receiving. That's 6. And opening up is basically listening. So if you just listen for anything, anywhere, you're open. All right, so if you can get some sort of posture today to sit down and listen, I recommend it. And then finally, this opens up the I sense state of awareness. And I sense is our psychic sense. It's also step 7. It is also Pisces. It is also Neptune. You name it. It is all over everywhere, and it is surrounding us. What this does is allow us to have a clear connection to our crown, which is a clear connection to the other side. Why is this all important? Well, because ultimately we have already set out, in my opinion, our life. We already came down with the intention of free will. I don't believe it's all fated, but I do believe we were heading dead north or dead east or somewhere when we came in. So on days like this, it's not so much that we're trying to get creator sign off, it's that we're trying to get our own higher selves sign off. Like, is this what I signed up for in the Garden of Eden? And why they call it the Garden of Eden? Because it ain't Eden down here, right? So you're really connecting to your higher self. You're really connecting to the part of you that planned this whole thing. And it's very easy to get distracted by the smartass or the dumbass or our feelings, the baby, the inner infant. All these parts of us can distract us, but there's really only one source, one truth, my friend, about who we are, our heart. So when we come back, I'm going to talk about how to listen to your heart and what question to ask in the Zodiac weather after this.
Are you tired of being codependent? Have you ever wondered why you're always cheating? Why do you have to always mother everyone you date?
I understand.
The biggest problem usually is people choose the wrong person. Are you ready to find out the truth? Yes. In just one video, you'll understand what you're looking for in love and what you offer. You send us your date of birth, we send you a custom video that's all about you. We call it Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. Find out your birthday secrets today, available online at secretsofbirthdays.com.
And here we are at the Soulmart.me trading post. First of all, I've got a few gifts that you can give to your friends and family. I've added this new little button. Anything you buy in Soulmart, you can give it as a gift now to auto-generate a gift certificate. One thing is, perfect for a price, a 15-minute step reading. In 15 minutes, I'll tell you what your step is, what your rising step is, what your emotional step is, and help you get your steps in line. I've just started doing these since August, actually since October. And people are loving them. This is a real great way to understand yourself. It'll raise the vibration and understanding of the zodiac weather every day of your life. Also, I have lowered the price for just 2 days. Right now, you can get the 60 plus 30 bundle package for only $99. Normally $140. This is as low as I can go for Christmas, folks, so hop on it. I waited till the middle of the month after rent was paid and everything for people, so go for it. I have availability open through Christmas, New Year's time. This is an awesome time to sit down through the holidays and figure out where you are growing. And the Secrets of Birthdays Love and Lust Report can also be given as a gift. Just check the Give as Gift little box. It'll get the email address and we'll send the gift certificate to them. This in 22 minutes will explain someone and how they are in a love relationship, especially as New Year's Eve is coming. Who should you ask? These types of things can be answered. Just come to secretsofbirthdays.com and you can go to soulmart.me for all sorts of gifts and cool things with yours truly in them. All right, so this brings us to today's gong. Got some Clydesdale spirit there. What does the heart say? That is the daily gong. What does the heart say? To me, that's what we're listening to today. We're listening to our heart. We're listening to what our heart says. You might go, oh, I always listen to my heart. Well, what I'm saying is this. Today, as we step in and listen about what our real philosophy is, if you have worked with me or watched my show, you know that I believe belief is based on the heart. It is step 0, I protect. Step 1, I love. Step 2, I feel. Step 3, I believe. Belief is out of our heart and our feelings. So we must not ignore our heart. And in the next 24 hours, you're going to be asked by something in the world to commit to your philosophy, your religion, and your philosophy of operating. And it's in that moment that you best check the heart. This is where Jupiter at 22 degrees makes it intense, because I'd be willing to bet that whatever your heart really wants is the unpopular choice. The choice that people probably would not agree with. I had a couple clients over the weekend, and I was coaching them through this with their heart and helping them to their heart. And it's like, well, what does your heart really want? My heart wants this, but I can't afford it. But I can't afford it is the smartass talking. Your heart wants this. There's nothing else to say. How we do it, I'm not sure. When it happens, can't quite tell you. But if my heart says this, then it is this. That means if someone like, this is another example, because of the astrology and the way things are, if you find yourself, I remember when I was out waiting tables, I waited tables for about 13 years of my life. I've been in every restaurant. I could have done restaurants if I wanted to. But I think it was just a tourist trying to get a discount on a meal. And I love talking to people. But I bring it up because I would always be surrounded, especially in LA, with a lot of waitresses and waiters who were actors. And I'd be like, what do you do for a living? What do you do? They're like, I wait tables, but I want to act. And I would say, is that what your heart says you are, that you're a waiter, right? No, their heart says that they are an actor, an actress, or a performer. So the point is it doesn't matter if you're waiting tables. Speak from your heart about what you are today and speak it loudly. If you want to manifest that heart's desire, then you have to answer that person, say, I'm an actor, but I'm stuck waiting tables right now. Right? Live in the heart and own the heart, and be sure to own it before Jupiter retrogrades tomorrow. But before you go owning your heart, let's take a look at the modes of each of your brothers and sisters. And we're looking at where Jupiter is going to help them and then retrograde. Starting with step 0. I always hit the wrong key, the new file. Step 0, Scorpios. Cloudy and a little oversensitive today, I think. The question is, what is your heart really saying about your career? Step 1, the Leos. Cloudy and spiritual today. What does your heart say truly about who you are or who I am? That's the question to answer today. Step 2 is the Cancers. Cloudy but feeling cool. What does your heart say about what you're actually worth? I'm not talking your TRW score. I mean, if you're in front of Creator, what would you name as your value to the world, right? To yourself. Step 3 is the birthday Sagittarius is. Cloudy and private today. But what does your heart say you really believe? And you probably see no evidence of it in the world. So that's one of the times where the truth is going to be, well, the truth will set you free. Wonka? Step 4 is cloudy and hyper-aware today for the Aquariuses with that moon in Cancer. Makes them super sensitive. But what does your heart say about your long-term partnerships? What does your heart say? Not the part of you that wants to be single forever. Step 5, the Geminis. Cloudy, super busy today. But what does your heart say is the truth? What rings true in that brain of yours? Step 6, the Librans. Cloudy and professional today. What does your heart say about where you truly belong? That might be with someone, but it's more about social, I think. Step 7, the Pisces. Cloudy, super pensive today. But what does your heart say is the best life? Okay? When I say life, I mean day in and day out. Best shoes, best workplace, best lunch hour. What is the best life? Ask your heart today. Step 8, the Capricorns. Cloudy and sentimental, maybe some love issues today. What does your heart say you can really trust about yourself? Be honest. Step 9, the Aries. Cloudy, nesting and resting today at the moon in Cancer. But what does your heart say about love? If you love yourself, you'll be honest. Oops, we went one over. Step 10 is the Tauruses. Cloudy and pensive today. What does your heart say about passion, Taurus? And that's a big thing because see that bolt? Pretty heavy. Doesn't charge very often. So passion's a big deal. And then finally, step 11 is the Virgos. Cloudy and social today, but what does your heart say about true faith? This is a big one for Virgos because the details always say one thing, but your heart and faith say another. And because you're so aware of the details, it can be difficult, right? So let's go now into Witecki Theater and see what we have in the Lightwalker Parade. For one, Venus Prime Health. With Damon Perry is going to talk about doomsday snacks. And today, we're talking breakfast cereals. That's right. They are evil. Sorry, Kellogg's, but it seems like it's true. If you're watching on YouTube, please be kind and do subscribe. It helps us with our YouTube relationship. And on Facebook, if you be our friend, you'll find out about all sorts of neat things. And if you join our email list, you'll get notice of these sales early. In fact, the $99 price I put out to my email list on Friday. And a lot of people booked up. Just saying. And of course, the greatest thing you can do, the greatest joy, the greatest honor, is to tell your friends and family about soulgarden.tv. We say thank you ahead of time. And that brings us to our gospel of the day. That's right, I'm bringing in Taylor Swift with Shake It Off. Why? Well, today really is a day of shaking it off. I think that's kind of interesting. Secondly, Taylor is a Sagittarius, a step 20 Sagittarius, which means that she's a Sag that gets passionate about things. And boy, does she. In fact, Shake It Off is kind of her telling young kids what to do with all that extra passion. Just shake it off, man. Don't screw up. So I'm grateful to Taylor and her Sagittarius. She's out there helping the young ones. And I will see you in 24 hours, my friend, with more. Until then, remember I love you and live, love, be.
This is just so ironic.